I'm very encouraged that the governor has laid out a plan that I can agree with. For example, his attempts to build on the coalition that we have in the legislature to come up with a water bond. I certainly agree with that. We certainly need to look at ways that affect my district. Water cleanup, conservation, a fix for the Delta. Those are very, very important issues. Education is a strong priority to safeguard our gains and increase safeguards on education, particularly higher education. As a community college instructor, I can tell you that was very, very good news. Transportation, the importance of transit and transportation needs are very important because of the jobs that they bring, the access that we have for working families to get to their jobs, to their retail outlets, and to their schools. The concerns that I have on the other side, particularly in terms of tax credits, I think we really need to look carefully before we decrease revenue to the state, that we find a way of backfilling that with other areas of revenue. I'm very, very concerned about that. I also feel that the environment is very, very important. I helped start the first environmental commission in my city and the second in LA County. I feel that working families want to make sure that they have a healthy place to raise their children. And so it does no good on the one hand to say that we're going to protect education, but then perhaps remove some of the safeguards under which our children can have access to open space and clean air, as well as our working families. So I'm concerned to see what specifics that will involve. Overall, I'm pledging my commitment to work with the governor and the legislature to come up with some solutions. This is an incredibly exciting period. I close with this thought. This will be the first year that I think that we can actually look at California being on the road to recovery. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think the more that we can pull people on board in the train, make sure that that train will move toward that light faster and more efficiently and benefit all of California. We also face a daunting issue of the November elections. In November, there will be possibly 100 ballot measures that reflect the kind of changes that Californians want. Californians want change. They want reform, whether it's a constitutional convention, revising our tax structure. People want solutions. I think that we have to work together as legislators and the governor and all of the opinion makers to figure out which reform California wants. If we revise our tax structure, is it going to maintain faith that people have when they pay money for taxes, that they'll get the services that are due them? I think we have to look at ways in which we evaluate efficiencies in government, that when people give a certain amount of money, are they getting as much bang for the buck? I think all of these are going to be on the agenda this coming November, and we have to make sure that as opinion makers that we let our constituents know what will help and what will not help. And so I'm pledged to doing that. I think this is going to be a great year. People are open for change. They're open for solutions. I think we in the legislature have seen what works and what doesn't work. And I will look forward to being at the forefront with the leadership of the legislature, with the governor, to make sure the Californians know what's in their best interests in terms of my humble opinion.